think
All
I'm
right,
ready.
we live.
We live. We live. What my hair look like? We live. All right. Let's see. Okay. I should have put
The
on my neck.
the pages are growing though. The Black Actors Lounge, the Black Film, all the pages are growing.
Let me tell you something. I'm gonna have to figure out a way for me to tap into that Black Screenwriters Lounge.
Yeah.
No, I kid you not. I don't know why I always forget about it. Literally always. And it's crazy because it's like you're on the show, we're doing the show, but I don't think when I post something, I go straight to the community. If I do post something, when I
Hmm.
do, um,
Hey, good
but
morning, JD. How you doing?
hey JD, congratulations on your new position. Come
Oh,
on, studio exec.
well, congratulations.
Yay! Brandon flew out. He took a picture of him on the plane flying out for a shoot.
Uh huh.
So he's flying out. So he's working. Amen.
Oh, amen.
I
See
know. I'm
everybody on
ready.
their thing.
Look, I'm ready. I can't do nothing right now. Look, I can't do nothing right now but sit at home. But I'm ready. I'm ready to get on set. So, but I'm not. I'm ready, but my body not ready.
Ah, I'm gonna drop
But I
this
had
thing
it
in.
right. Okay.
If you guys aren't on the Black Filmmakers Lounge
Wait,
YouTube
don't drop it
channel,
yet. Don't drop
huh?
it yet.
Oh, I
Don't put it
just
in
put.
yet.
Oh, it's already put up in a group.
Okay, we'll put it in later too when
Okay. Yeah.
and we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that.
Because I want to stream there live. Good morning,
Hey
Thomas. How you doing?
Thomas!
But I'm gonna be working on the web page and all that stuff too as well. That's why I said it's gonna be starting our new season in September. It's gonna be on. But we are probably be working too. Like, oh, we're out shooting movies.
Oh, I'm shooting. I'm telling you, I am so ready to shoot Jay's heart. I don't know what to do. My printer. Okay. Okay.
Blue Gold Productions.
Get in on Blue Gold Productions.
What is that?
Okay, I have to check it out. It's a production company. My printer start printing black pages, and I usually don't throw my printer boxes away. We're gonna get the show started in a second. I usually don't throw my printer boxes away like fast, and I threw it away, and my toner lasts usually for 6, 7, 8 months. Tell me, I'm gonna take this toner up there in a plastic bag and tell these people, and I cannot find my receipt.
Who's the printer from?
The printer is from HP.
Where'd you buy that?
It's not the printer. I don't think it's the ink. I'm thinking it's the toner.
Is it HP ink or is it like a generic
HP ink
filler?
But no, it's HP ink.
Did you have it filled up like at Staples or something?
No, it's a brand new cartridge. I always buy brand new cartridges.
Oh yeah. Well, here's what you do. So you better join those apps for those companies, like get on their apps. And because when you have those memberships, you get discounts and you get credit and you get money buildups towards buying things. But it also has a section where it keeps track of things you purchase in their stores. So you don't have to have a physical receipt anymore.
And I promise you, I did it at Office Max and I've called customer service. They pulled my phone number. I'm like, I promise you I picked this ink up because I remember when I picked it up, I went next door to the Kroger and bought some fish or something. The same day I picked it up. Like I remember, but I cannot find a receipt. And they said I can come back with a no receipt.
Okay. And then
but I don't have the box.
Oh. Well, most people throw the box away for ink anyway. So it'll be no receipt when you walk in. You just got to bring the ink. But
I'm going to try. I'm going to try. I'm going to try. Baby, I promise. Okay, anyway. But yeah, I was like, my ink went crazy. And I was like...
Yeah, that's why I'll tell you this. I love shopping online for two things. And at least ordering online because you get the digital receipt, right? And in some places, when they ship it to you, they send you a receipt. What I like now is anybody who ships through Amazon, they have to send you this little square receipt with your item and the cost and all that, especially because it's used for our business account. So when I order equipment and things like that, which I picked up something new a while ago, that I got to test out. This is a little auto dolly for your cell phone. It goes on a table, moves. So I was going to test it out with my students, but I'm, make little things, but you don't have to just use it with the cell phone. It can work with the small digital cameras that shoot video, DSLR cameras that shoot video and stuff.
Cool.
But I was going to do a little thing for our Black Filmmakers Lounge page.
But here's the thing,
opening because has a little remote and stuff.
Oh wow!
And all that, so I gotta test it out.
Unboxing on the show.
Yeah, I was gonna do that, so put it up, test some stuff out because we got to get a little bit talking about equipment and things like that.
Yes, that's why. Yes, and having Jacoby on, getting Jacoby back for sure, and maybe some other guys.
This is the receipt I was talking about from Amazon. Right.
So here's the thing, Michael.
And then
I promise I ordered it. Let me see.
This is to put your phone on. So it holds your cell phone. But so you can hold it this way or you can hold it sideways. It has a place for mic and your lights and stuff to go on it and all that. So in case people feel like they want to film with their cell phones, that's why I like boxes. But very lightweight. And then, of course, the other stuff that came with the thing I bought, that's from Small Rig. The other thing's from Newer. But, the YouTube channel, we got to start building things up and talking about some other things. So,
yes, definitely. Like you said, we probably can do the little clips. But, Michael, I bought it curbside. That's what I'm saying. That's why I can't understand why I can't find the receipt. I've called them.
Okay.
I swear, because I pick it up curbside because I don't want to get there and they don't have it.
Oh, so then you should have the email.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's your receipt.
Yeah.
You don't have that? You can't find it?
It won't. It's not pulling up.
Oh.
Nothing is pulling up. That's what I'm saying. I'm pulling it up. I called them. Both my email accounts, I called them. They pulled my phone number. I'm like, you don't see anything? Like, I promise. And then I went to Kroger and got fish or ribs or something.
Wow.
Next door. I cannot find it.
Well, I hope you find it. I hope it pops up soon.
I want to pay $50 for to replace the printer after it's defective.
Yeah.
So anyway, you ready?
Let's say what's up. Yeah.
Let's get the show started.
Hey, good morning. Welcome to the Black Filmmakers Lounge, Saturday morning indie industry shop talk. I'm your host, my other host, Tamira TK Henderson, and I'm Michael Melvin. We're here to hang out with you, talk about filmmaking, the best practices, because, hey, we're going to be talking about what you're watching, the stresses of pursuing your dreams, because we all get stressed out. And then, of course, we're going to open up Q&A section today for those in the comments. So if you guys are hanging out with us on the Facebook page, directly on the Facebook page, you get to do a little Q&A. So we're here to do that, making it have fun. And we'll be talking about plenty other stuff. And welcome to the Black Filmmakers Lounge. What's up, TK?
What's up?
So we're going to make this happen. Let's get it going.
I'm looking at my email again, and I put in the word curbside this time. Nothing. Anyway, so can't worry about that. What we're gonna do is just move on and talk about what you're watching. And I actually wrote the things down I watched. I'm trying to make it a habit.
Wait, you got that bad? You got to write them down now?
No, first of all, my memory, because I'll be like, oh yeah, I watched this. Oh yeah, I watched that too. So I'm trying to make a list so I can be a little more efficient. Is that the word?
Yeah, I guess that's the word.
Efficient together, whatever you want to call
Organized, efficient. There we go. Yeah.
Whatever you want to call it. So I watched basketball.
Okay.
I watched an episode of The Wonder Years because I'm actually caught up. I watched an episode of Abbott Elementary.
Okay.
Which is interesting. It's getting interesting.
So you just finally watching, or you've been watching?
No, I've been watching it, but it's getting interesting now.
Okay, I missed the last 2 episodes, I think.
Okay, yeah, I like how it's starting to get a little more interesting versus just slapstick comedy kind of thing. You
Okay.
know what I mean?
Hmm.
So it's getting a little to where I enjoyed a little. I enjoyed the last episode. Um, did I watch an episode of? No, I didn't watch. I'm probably behind an episode on This Is Us, but um, I watched Colin in black and white, so I finally got to watch that.
Okay.
It
So
it literally made me cringe
really,
the way his parents were not able to see how people were treating him.
oh yeah.
That and just think those are just a few instances he put in. That really made me cringe. It really made me sad. It really
Okay.
did. But I did watch Hand of God.
Hmm.
Hand of God
I don't know why am I smiling.
was why do you keep touching on your shirt? What's going
It,
on?
it keeps moving. I don't know.
It keep moving. Let me see. Let me see it move.
I
Okay.
keep seeing my other shirt pop up. And I'm
Oh,
like,
are you doing like me when I'm looking in the camera? So, Hand of God is an Oscar-nominated film
uh-huh.
by Netflix, and it was shot in Naples, Italy, and it was a period piece, 1980s. Um, Between that and No Man Land, I'm probably never going to win an Oscar. I'm like, I just cannot write like this. Like, but the crazy thing is, we don't down or talk about stuff or whatever. But
Mhm.
there were so many gaps in the script itself. I was just like, this
But
is an Oscar nominated film.
But you know what? The audience is a bit more forgiving than us because we are very technical, and when we come from a very technical place. Good morning, Crystal. And so we see things technically, but the problem is the audience doesn't care because the audience isn't us. Some people in our audience are us, but the average person, they don't even know when you make a mistake. I remember doing stuff for clients and they couldn't even tell. And you like, oh, I just see it. I'm gonna go fix that when I get back.
And I'm not talking about gaps like this. I'm
All right.
talking, you know what I mean? I'm talking about like this. And I'm talking about a few gaps. Like I was like between that and No Man Land, did you ever watch No Man Land? Did y'all watch that?
I don't think I did.
The No Man Land with the homeless lady that was
No,
living in the trailer that won Best Picture last year?
no, I didn't see it. I didn't see it. Sorry.
I watched half of it. I said,
You
okay.
know what? I'll be real.
I probably won't ever win an Oscar. Because
So
I was like,
awards, I commend people who win awards. I celebrate them. I commend them.
absolutely.
They don't mean as much to me as they might mean to others. And the reason is there's a lot of movies who've made tons of money that's never won an award, which should tell us something. So I get it, but it's all subjective. Winning stuff is subjective.
Yes.
The only time it's not subjective is when it's a random lottery. But when you're winning something, you have judges who are judging your material. It's subjective to their perspective and how they want to see the work. And so it's like when I was in grad school, remember we had this conversation, my scripts, some of my professors would leave me notes and I'm like, well, I'm Black. I'm writing the Black experience. You're not going to understand that because you're not. And instead of trying to learn to understand that, you're more like, you need to write it this way, which fits your narrative for your storytelling format, right. Which may not be totally accurate. Because again, art is subjective. And so I tell my students, I don't grade the actual thing you're doing. I grade your process. I grade your outcome based on your process. And so it's not the story or the creativity. That's your thing. But how can I improve it? How can I help you improve what you're doing? The problem is we keep trying to make everybody fit this film narrative because, again, some people do 6 acts. Some people do 8 acts. Some people do the 3 acts. And it's like you got to determine what kind of writer you are and how you want to tell your story. So when awards come out and people start winning stuff, and also some awards are given because you cool with somebody, you schmoozing, there's a other part to that. So I'm not a big awards person. So just because a film wins an award doesn't make me really want to watch it. But what makes me want to watch movies is when other filmmakers are discussing the technical stuff. What makes it a good film? What makes the cinematography great? What makes the sound great? You know, when those conversations come up, then I'm like, oh, okay, I'll go check it out because I want to see what they're talking about. I want to see the quality and you know, how it leads you, how we use our film literacy. Because film helps us comprehend. It helps us understand the story. That's literacy, you know?
And from what I understand as well is the people who are voting on these films and awards, they have a stack of about 300 films to watch.
Oh.
They're going to pick and choose what films their colleagues are recommending versus just, they're going to pick this particular one over Straight Outta Compton. Let's be real.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That's why when you see film, you know, when we see some of the award shows, it's like, how did this film win Best Picture, but there was no Best Actress, there was no Best Director, there was no Best Score, but other than La La Land, which we won't talk about. But you know what I mean? So how does it win Best Picture, but it had Best of nothing else?
Right.
It's like they, you know, it's like you said, they want to spread it out, and then we ain't gonna talk about the African American non-existent in the main awards that never happens, other than Halle Berry and Denzel.
Well, isn't Will getting something for King Richard?
He got nominated. If they feel, but you know they like Will.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but I don't think he's gotten Best Actor yet, has he? I think.
But this is the thing: no black person has gotten Best Actor. That's what I'm telling you.
I thought Denzel got Best Actor for Training Day.
Denzel, and did Jamie actually win? Let me double check.
Jamie should have got it for Ray.
They all.
That's what I'm saying. Like
that's what I'm saying. But we know for a fact one black woman has won.
For playing the position, and now she regrets it. Kinda.
For Monsters Ball.
Right.
And Denzel for Training Day. That's it.
Right, which is always interesting to me because I'll give you this, right? There was this time when Precious and what was it? The one about the football player with Sandra Bullock. Blindside. There we go. When the same year they came out. Remember that? Mm-hmm. And the problem is Precious was such a negative piece, traumatic, right? I mean, it's a good movie, but it's the image of us in a negative way. Blindside is the image of us in a negative way with the white savior. And you never see something where we come and help our community, which we do all the time. You know,
Green Book one, remember?
Yeah. So it's always somebody, it has to always involve someone else helping us that wins, things like that. And which is unfortunate because we help our community quite often in many ways. And we don't tell those stories, or we don't get to see those stories, or they're like, well, put this character in it. Well, there's no white person around that time. You know, oh yeah, but Adam in there. So that's where you get the based on a true story. That's where you get based on true events when you watch a movie. That's where that comes from, is when they start to embellish and add stuff that didn't exist, or they change part of the story to move faster or smoother on screen versus what happens in reality. And when those two movies were out, Blindside was much more positive of a film for us, right? But it still had its negative points to it. Again, they're both though, but they are up to win stuff. That when it comes to us, the movie has to have us kind of a negative light where somebody's saving us or whatever for us to win. Let's just think about it. I mean, if we go back to look at how many of our films win those awards, like the Oscars, Academy Award stuff, and it's just. So for me, I never cared because it never shows us. It never shows us in a true light. Hey, good morning, Craig.
I'm telling you, listen, when what was it? The Sound of Water? One? Is it called I think it's called The Sound of Water. I was working with this lady who, hey, Brandon.
Good morning, Brandon.
Hey, Craig. I was working with this lady. She's a 70-year-old white lady from Wisconsin. And She was a movie buff. She
Mhm.
was a movie buff. And which was interesting too, because like she went to see Selma. She never knew any of that took place. And when I did some plays with Greg Ellis, um, we had did some plays, and some of the actors, they were like, I'm from up north and I never knew this stuff. They really didn't.
Mm.
But listen, so she's a movie buff. Sound of Water, we were like both. She's like, "Hey, did you see?" I was like, "Yeah, I know, like that." She's like, "Eh." So she accidentally, because something happened with a movie she was going to see, and so she accidentally went to see the Water movie. Right? This is
Mhm.
Octavia Spencer, and I forgot the other main character. And I said, "Well, did you like it?" She was like, you know. So nobody never heard anybody talk about this movie. This movie freaking won Best Picture. I was like, okay.
I tell you,
I was like,
it's political. Award ceremonies and things like that are always political. Like I remember when they busted the source for people paying for mics for albums, the record labels and stuff.
oh yeah,
It's all
yeah.
it's all political. It's all financing political. It's a booster. And like I
Really,
said,
it really
most of the
is.
movies I've seen that I really like never won an Oscar. Most of them, you know. So it doesn't bother me. I'll watch certain movies, but it doesn't bother me if they win an award. No, you
I
know.
watch the Oscars, and I watch the Oscars because I like seeing. Oh, Audible. I did watch another short called Red Robin Robin. Hold on, what it's called? It was an Oscar-winning short. I mean, an
Hmm.
Oscar-nominated short on Netflix called Robin Robin. But Audible. Remember, I don't know if you when I told you about the Audible. It's a short documentary on Netflix. It got an Oscar nomination,
Oh, okay.
and it's so good, guys. If you guys haven't watched it, try to watch it. It's about 15 minutes long, but it's Audible on Netflix. That was shocked. That was done so well. But um I was gonna say that I like to watch the Oscars because I like the short documentaries and stuff.
Hmm.
And like the foreign film stuff that we don't, that we really hadn't heard about.
Right.
So I like watching the first part of the Oscars to see all that. And I was going, oh, so Sundance, I like Sundance judging a little better too, because like 40-year-old version. Have you
Hmm.
seen that?
I haven't seen it. I know of it. It's about the girl wanting to be a rapper,
Let me
right?
tell you something. I know a whole bunch of grown women. My foot fell asleep, guys. Hold on. My other foot. My I know a whole bunch of grown women. They were online like everybody needs to watch this movie. This movie is so good. 40-year-old version, and it won at Sundance. It is so good. I love. Let's see.
Craig
Oh, brother,
said
for art there.
there are a few movies I've watched only because they won Best Picture. Oh brother,
Uh,
where art thou? And No Country for Old
no
Men,
Country
to
for
name a
Old Men.
couple. Yeah, I watched No Country for Old Men, and I've talked about this on the show. It has no musical soundtrack, no composing anything. It's a straight movie, and it's a well
It has
told
no.
story. Yeah, you don't hear any music. It's like
It was just
no,
raw.
yeah, no background music, and it's a great
Really?
storytelling. Yeah, and you don't even realize it. Like it's that good. You don't even think like it's not.
Oh, is
Nothing
it?
to drive your emotion. It gets you regardless because of how the story's been told. So that's like people always say, "Oh, you need good music. You need a good composer." And nope, that movie doesn't have any of that, and I
So is it
commend it for that.
violent?
Huh? It does have violence in it.
Like a lot of violence? I think that's why I was going to
I
watch it,
don't
and
know if
then I
it's a
thought,
lot of violence. See, you and I violence. I don't know what's a lot of violence for you. So I couldn't tell you. I can't gauge that. Um, for me, it's not as violent as other stuff that comes on. Yeah.
oh wow.
Craig
Okay,
said he never noticed until I said that. Yeah,
I'm gonna
man.
watch it. I'm gonna watch it. Let me see if this other. I want to see if this other movie, one, it has enough. See, enough and too much is like Old Gang had a lot of violence. I was able to stomach it, but then I watched the
um,
film, the Old Gang.
it's violence. The thing is, it's not crazy violent in a sense, but it means something. The violence isn't just thrown in there. It has a purpose. Um, there's some movies where it's just so much violence it doesn't have a true meaning. It's just all violence. It's a violent movie. There's others where everything that happens for a good reason and helps push the story along.
Let me see if
So
this is the one of.
that's the thing. You know what? I think that's the other thing when it comes to writing and storytelling, we have to think about is everything you put on page, every scene, it should move the story along. It should matter to the entire story. So it shouldn't just be there to be there. It does don't. So I don't care. You as a director, and I'm gonna say this, just because you like the scene and you wrote it or whatever, don't. If there's no need for it, don't. It needs to push the story. It needs to advance the story. It needs to up the ante as we progress towards the climax of the story. The ante, like where you start off, your character needs to change. Perspectives need to shift somehow, or your character needs to come to an epiphany of themselves. How your character started shouldn't be how they end, unless it's because they avoided wanting to see themselves. Because there's a good stories where the character still ends up the same way, but they're dead. Like they're like the choices they made got them there, and they didn't. And people kept trying to tell them to change, and they didn't. So the ending matters because the ending means they're gone or their life is ruined because they just didn't want to listen throughout the entire story, which that's powerful because that's a theme. That's a person versus themselves, man versus himself, or one versus whatever you ever want to play it. But at the end of the day, if your story has a happy ending, then it needs to start somewhere. It needs to go somewhere. Something needs to hit them real hard, and then it needs to shift. What's up, Darrell?
Hey, cousin. So, and that's the thing. Like, that's the thing. When you're writing a movie, your character needs to change, or the people around them change.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Hancock was the one example that was used. Like, he didn't change, but people grew to accept who he was, and the people around him.
Well, no,
changed.
he did change. Mm-hmm. Remember, he was a mean drunk, and the guy shifted him, but then he didn't know his past. And so that became clear. But then, yes, the people around him did change too. Mm-hmm. So there was two changes going on within Hancock, which is why I always wanted a sequel because of who he became. And I wanted him his background and then her background with him and their people. I would have loved to dive deeper into who these immortal people, superheroes were like, and who they became. Because some of them, when she told the story, if they stayed together, they lost their powers and they eventually lived a happy life and died. If they stayed apart, they stayed superheroes and they could save the world. So it was kind of interesting. That's a powerful perspective. So what if you told us about other people, or what if there's more of them running around? What if some of them were villains? You got so you had this universe that you created. Actually, something that popped up a few weeks back. Michael B. Jordan and Will Smith are working on I Am Legend 2, from what I heard.
They're not working on it at the moment. It might be in progress because he's working on Creed 3 in Georgia.
Well, yeah. I think they're going to work on it, or because shooting schedule. Once that movie's shot, somebody's going to take it to the editing room and they can go work on another project. Michael B. Jordan's always working on something. Something happened. There's some I knew something happened. I meant to talk about it last week because there are business moves being made in the industry. So I got to remember what it was, man. It's funny because I remembered it again. I was like, I was supposed to talk about that on the show last week, and I didn't. But these mergers, these changes, it's going to get real interesting. I am waiting for everything to play out. So is that it? Is that all what you're watching, TK? Because we move from what you're watching to a lot of stuff. Because we just go everywhere. We just,
I know. I'm playing with my name right now.
Were you trying to move it down or something?
I'll put it on my forehead. Let me see. TK. There you go. I got it.
She having fun with her name, y'all. Y'all got to help her, man.
So go ahead and give us your list, Michael.
Actually, I don't have a big list. I just watched Bel Air and Power. No, I've just watched Bel Air and Power. I haven't watched anything else this week. I came home with the sleep. Yeah.
You guys hear that? He said he only watched two things. He must have a fever or something. Something had to be wrong. I know you watch some HGTV. Come on now, Michael, give it to him.
No, like, yeah, my wife, look, it's so funny. She had My Lottery Dream Home on yesterday, and I went to sleep. I woke up, she was asleep, because she had changed it to OWN to watch, what's that, Love? It's the thing with Nephew Tommy. I gotta remember what it is. But Will Packers produces it. It's on OWN. So it's about the couples trying to find love. Ready for Love. That's what it's called. Ready for Love. And so it's in the Potomac, Maryland right now this season. Last season was in DC. And
I still gotta watch
there you go. Top Boy. Yeah, people are telling me. We had a conversation at work. They told me to watch. They're like, Melvin, you gotta watch Top Boy, and you gotta go home and watch Human Resources. I was like, what?
I'm gonna watch Top Boy this week. Once I watch basketball this weekend, especially if I don't have nothing to write and I can't go on set right now, because I'm healing still. Amen. Process.
Amen.
I'm not tripping, but I'll be like trying to go do something. Thomas said he's been watching documentaries on American history and culture and American history and culture perspectives. Thomas, have you watched Men Who Made America? There's a 4-part series that was on the History Channel called Men Who Made America. It's about Rockefeller. It was about Scott Rockefeller, Carnegie, and one other person. That right there, J.P. Morgan. Mm-hmm. Let me tell you something. That right there, that inspired me so freaking much. J.P. Morgan built the Panama Canal with no internet, no cell phone, no telephone. Rockefeller laid pipeline to run oil across America, laid pipes with no internet, no cell phone, no telephone, really.
Right.
And we have all the excuses in the world.
Well, the question is, what are we trying to do? It's right now we got all these wonderful tools. We have these beautiful tools of the internet, and it's like, you got to remember, they're all forms of mediums of communication, everything. And so we should be really using them to our potential. Like, I will say this, I haven't really been watching stuff. I did watch one other thing, which was the Avengers cartoons on Disney Plus, but I've been studying the metaverse this week. Y'all know how I'm a business guy. So when my wife came, she said, yeah, I listened to you when you were talking about the metaverse a couple of weeks ago, and she came in doing some research too, and my nephew called me and he was talking to me. I'm telling y'all, if you don't get on this metaverse thing and start seeing what it's going to do to even filmmaking and promoting your materials and stuff, like, people are already building their websites, stuff into the metaverse. They got a webpage, they're placing things in the metaverse so that when you get in there, you're going to see their stuff, because it's when you hop in. It already exists. Let's just put the metaverse already exists. It's just the way it's going now. So you get some VR goggles, you got some little money staying around, and go play around with it. Go see what's out there. Test out Facebook's metaverse. Everybody's getting prepared. I think Microsoft has a bunch of goggles, VR goggles, available at different price points. What's the name? Just talked about their VR goggles, PlayStation, Sony. And then you still have some other ones called InReal, and everybody's got them coming. They're the next best thing. And some of them, they connect to your cell phone, because they know that you're going to want the VR to be portable as well as when you get home. And if you haven't thought about, because I just showed my wife the first 20 minutes of Ready Player One, and she was like, so this is what's going on. I said, there you go. You got to start studying this stuff, because you're going to get left out. And I hear a lot of people, that's not my thing, man. I'm not a computer person. Listen, if you want to put money in your pocket, you better find it to be your thing, because
can I partner?
You can't partner. You got to find a group of people. Everybody got to find a way to get together and get smart, because I always say you got to build a circle, and that circle needs to help build each other and help each other invest it and build, because the money's going to be out there. These companies are hiring people now, and
Yeah, I
their
saw that.
content creation for the metaverse is big because it's the content that brings the people to participate. So, what are we thinking about? Because we can't just be stuck in the real world too. I mean, we're part of the real world. Everything's about real world no matter what. But you got this virtual world that's going to be picking up, and your youth are already engaged in it. They're already in a version of the metaverse, whatever their games and so forth. So y'all gotta, I've been studying that this week. That has been probably my YouTube channel thing. You know how they recommend stuff? Metaverse, Apple, my collecting things. That's what it's filled up with. And anything business stuff. But like, yeah. So I've been really looking at that.
It really transitions us into the next topic about the stresses of being in this industry.
Pursuing your dreams, yeah.
The stresses of pursuing the dream.
How many of y'all stress? Pursuing filmmaking, pursuing acting, pursuing writing, script writing. How many of y'all stress?
And I'm gonna tell a story.
Mm-hmm.
When I wrote my first script, and I was like, okay, now what do I do? And that's when we talk about resources, when we just piggybacking off the resources, what we have now. I knew no one behind the camera. I didn't know anyone to read it. I didn't know anything. So, and this was 17 years ago, 2007. This is 2007.
Mm-hmm.
So the internet wasn't hot at all. Like, it wasn't hot as it is now. The time jumps and we jump into different, but it wasn't even close. So I literally had that Hollywood production directory. And I found a notebook where I wrote, like, on each page, I literally had about 50 production companies, like little bitty. And I sat there and wrote a query letter, printed out a query letter and put a stamp on every envelope, because back then, everything, you barely could email. Most of them still wanted it. And I sent so many query letters till they got to the point where I was like, this is ridiculous. I have to keep writing, because then I kept rewriting the first script for like 2 years. And I was like, this is ridiculous. I have to move on with my life, because it was overloading me, only because I did not know, when I was called into this industry, I did not know how to move forward in it. And it was really the beginning, and it was difficult trying to figure out how to navigate. So when people ask the question, and I love hearing panels and stuff, but they're like, oh, just find an agent. And I'm like this. So I cannot wait to get on panels and be like, no, it doesn't work that way. Like, you just don't find panels that are honest, because it's like, no, you don't find it. The agent wants you to be in the win a Nichols. The Nichols is 10,000 scripts right now. It's over 10. That was a few years ago. This is over 10,000 submissions. Austin Film Festival, over 10,000 script submissions. And the readers are from the streets. So it's like, for you to tell me to go get an agent, like, oh, you get an agent. No, it doesn't work that way. Like, it's so many things that some people that are in the industry that will tell you that's not true and is not real. And it was frustrating trying to navigate through this thing. So I had to get to the point where it wasn't overwhelming me, but I just started working. I just started writing. People started hiring me for writing scripts. I started writing my original stuff. And I'm like, you know what? And then I finally found out the agent finds you. I'm like, oh, well, shoot. Let me keep working, writing, building my craft, and making it better. So it wasn't as stressful in the beginning as it was frustrating for me. And I know we have people here on different levels. Darwin, hey, no stress. Tone, no stress, all joy. And that's great. And that's what I feel now, but there are some moments, you do have those moments where that are may not be as stressful, but sometimes they do get a little disappointing.
Yeah.
Or a little frustrating because you're like, oh my God, come on. Like, especially the hurry up and wait game. Hurry up, give this to me tonight. You got to get this to me tonight. Okay, I'm getting it. 4 months later, I was just calling to follow up.
Yeah. I think it's a hard place to be because you were starting out is not easy, but like this change. It has like technology and things has really changed. I remember when I first started, you were sending out those letters, you were putting DVDs inside of packaging and you're numbering them so you know who was who, and you had this checkoff list. So, and then when you got a letter back from them, and then you started getting emails back from them instead of letters, which was another interesting thing. But I remember my first film, I went through the process. Like I had an electronic press kit. I had the printable version of the press kit. I had the soundtrack. I had, everything, ready to go, full package. And there's still a lot of stuff I was missing because no one was around to really tell me, and college didn't really share all of that stuff, and you either learn one thing or the other. You learn, and usually either way, you don't learn enough because your real experience of learning comes from the experience, from actually doing.
Yes.
And meeting and actually talking to people. And I was just thinking as you were talking, I was like, oh, wow, I still have this notebook with business cards. Like, how I used to go to Staples and you buy the business card thing to go into it, and you slide all the cards in and say where you met them and the festivals and stuff you went to, and how did you talk to this person. And I mean, I still have tons of old business cards. I probably can't call those people today because they're not in the same positions, hopefully. But they don't moved up. Yeah. But like, but when you think about it, that grind was hard. What's up?
I found the receipt.
See, there you go. You take time. You can find it.
No. It was through PayPal. It was something you said. I don't know if it's something you said that clicked or something about, or just hit me PayPal. Okay. Anyway, I found the receipt.
See, there you go.
I am so sorry. Go ahead.
So, it's just, it was stressful back then to an extent. And there were moments you were like, am I meant to do this? Especially if the people in your circle didn't totally believe in you.
I was going to talk about that after you finish talking.
Yeah. So, because I had people, I'm going to be real, y'all. I'm always real, but I'm going to be like really real. Like I might get some people to unfriend me after that. I say what I'm saying. But when I did my very first feature film, I had people tell me, particular persons, tell me, oh, this is a script. You wrote this after your breakup. Where do you think most stories come from? Your stories come from your experiences. Now, the script wasn't based on my relationship totally. There's bits and pieces I borrowed from a past relationship and I put in there, yes. But the whole thing, no. The concept itself had nothing. It was not my life. But I think what people, no one says to Prince, don't write a love song because your heart got broken. So don't make 17 days because this girl broke your heart. No, they go, yo, I'm digging that song. I'm feeling it because I've been there. I felt that way. And so the mistake some people in your circle will do, and maybe it was the fact that I said, yeah, I borrowed some of this from the stuff I've been through or whatever. But it's not my story, nothing like that. I just used it because I thought it would drive the story. And the person was like, well, we thought you were making a movie about your life. Well, stop thinking for me. If you're on board, you're on board. That's the worst part is when you get people who say they want to be a part of what you do, but they don't really believe in what you do. It's like they're aiming for the ride, right? They joyriding off of you to see where it leads them, but they're not really there. And so whatever I do for anybody, I'm always well invested, because why do something if you're not well invested? That's just, what are you there for? Are you, so when people call me and Michael, can you help me with this? Or can you do this? I get invested because we should be invested in those people we believe in. If we're not, then why? First of all, if you're not invested in somebody you believe in, then do you really believe in them? Or are you just saying it to sound good? And when they make it, you just running your mouth. Like, are you saying? So, and I think about that stuff because now that I look at it, I always look back. What are they doing now? That's number one. Where are those people now? What are they doing now? But if you jump on board for a film, believe in a movie. I know people are trying to get paychecks, but if you hop on a film and you're not giving your best, I say this in my classroom, never give anything less than your very best. So if you can walk out on a set and play a character, but you're not giving it your all, you're only hurting you because it's going to shine through in the film. There's only so much editing can do. There's only so much switching things, scenes around, doing stuff can do. So if you don't give your best, then people got to feel it. And I always told certain people, I told my actors, I said, listen, you don't want somebody to watch a movie and go, that story's a good story, but they needed better actors. Because I've been on the other end of that conversation. I've heard that before. And then I've heard people say, the actors were great, but that was a bad story. That was horrible. That you don't want the perfect male. That was a really good story. And those actors really brought that to life. See, you want that last one. Mm-hmm. But if you're not invested, it's not going to happen. And so when I look back, I say, it's funny. You can say, where are they now? And so are they living up to their dreams? People say, I want to be an actor. Are they acting? Did they stop and go do something else? Are you really pursuing what you're doing? I still pursue filmmaking. That's why I teach it. It helps me stay in it because I wouldn't teach anything else if it wasn't filmmaking. That's the first thing I told my wife. I said, I'm not going to stay a teacher if it's not teaching film video production. Real simple. Exactly. And because I can just go make films then. But somebody asked me, why do you teach? I teach because I want young people to see that this doesn't cost a lot of money to make a movie, as people keep telling themselves. A great movie does cost some money. I'm not going to say that. But you can make a good movie with not a lot of money. People have done it. And that's how they made their calling cards. And I think we make that mistake. But it's your circle, that circle. When you don't have people around you that believe in you, it's a crusher. It's a hard one because that means you got to do everything. You got to motivate yourself. You got to push yourself. You got to drive yourself because the circle isn't doing it. Now you got to find a new set of friends at the same time too. So that's my spiel.
And let me say this, and I know a lot of us, like I said, are different levels on here, but let me tell you, the people closest to you are not going to necessarily be the main supporters of you. Mm-hmm. Some people are fortunate. Some people are very fortunate to have people right around them to support them. They are not. And we expect it, and it's hard not to. And I've dealt with it. I've had these conversations with people. The people who are right around you, who your ace, boom, coom, and all those people, they going to be there. They are not. They are not necessarily the ones going to be there. And when I say not necessarily, I mean at a high percentage, probably not. You will post flyers. They will not share them. You will have screenings. They will not come. And it's not just in, it's the whole entertainment industry, period. It's not like just filmmaking or screenwriting. It's the whole entertainment industry, artists, rappers, musicians. Mm-hmm. I kid you not. It takes free 99 to share a flyer, and people won't even share your flyer.
Because people would too. You won't go out and pass out a flyer for you.
I kid you not. And you have to go through the process of not being frustrated, and expecting it, but still when it happens, you're like, couldn't even share the flyer. Okay, thank you. And yeah. And I mean the flyer, and that's why I tried. If I can't participate or buy somebody's stuff, if I believe in that person, I will share their stuff. Crystal, I share your book stuff. I will share and post stuff, Brandon stuff, Jaden stuff, whoever, I will post it. I will post it because Because if I can't do anything else financially or anything else, I can at least share the flyer. If I believe in the project and I believe in you, there's some stuff I'm like, I'm absolutely probably not going to share. And that's because of the content. It may be the content or something, or it's just like, no, this is like, I'm not sharing this. Or I may share it once and not share it again. But I will at least try to support people by at least sharing the flyer for free 99 because it's that simple, that easy. I can see you bubbling. Go ahead.
Who, me? No, I'm good. Me, I'm big on supporting the people in your circle. That's like, if you're not supporting the people in your circle, then that's a reflection of who you are. That's
when you get a new circle. But that's the circle we create. But I'm talking about the circle that's been there that you thought.
No, I'm saying like, if you're not, if you here's the thing. I got cats that would call themselves my brother or your family and all this stuff, and they've taken me to a whole nother level. Only because I don't play with the word friend lightly. Everybody ain't my friend. They're associates, they're people I'm cool with. There's a difference. Friend is basically close to, you ever see that friends and family? Because your friends are like, basically are your family. I didn't choose my family, but I selected my friends. So for me, if I selected you as my friend, I saw something in you. And there's not one person that I've called friend that can say, I never egged them or pushed them to be what they said they wanted to do. If you came and said, I want to be an actor, I pushed that. I found something where, hey, let's work together. I'm going to shoot a movie. You come act on it. Hey, I want to be a writer. Hey, I got a movie I want to do. Hey, I got the script, but maybe you can tweak it for me. You see what I'm saying? I've always opened the door to collaborate and work with my people to bring up. I'm not going to just bring you up for nothing. That's the thing. I'm going to bring you up because we're working together. We're coming together and I'm bringing you up with me. And then I'm going to share your stuff. I'm going to tell people about you. Somebody goes, shooting a movie. Oh, I got a boy who acts. Oh, I know this girl. She's good, man. I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to tell the truth. Like, hey, I think you might want to take an acting class or you want to do it. Because I believe in you enough to say, hey, do this because I want to see you succeed.
Absolutely.
And so what happens is everybody don't do that. Everybody don't say, you're going to make it. Let me help you. I got this movie I want to do. Could you want to be a part of it? You want to help me? Everybody ain't going to do that. Some people are going to come because they want to get stuff from you for free, but they're not going to be as beneficial to you as they're getting the benefits from you. So you got to watch those people. Like I said earlier, people coming on the ride, they just want to ride along. And if you become famous, they're going to go, I know him.
I'm going to post that picture of us.
Yeah, and I'm like,
congratulations to TK, my such and such.
Hey, never posted a picture with you before. I
never shared one flyer of one screening of one nothing. And it's
right. And so, again, you got it. That word friend means something to me. And there's a lot of people who have gotten comfortable saying friend, but do they actually mean it? And that's just
me. And I guess because, and thank you, Lord, the Lord did you represent my spirit. People are certain levels of friends at different parts of your life. So, and that's good. Thank you, Lord. That's good because like you said, I use that word friend, but I have people that have been in certain areas of my life, a different type of friend.
Mm-hmm.
So it may not have been that you did this, but you bought me, you when I had surgery, you emailed me lunch or you prayed for me or you know what I mean?
Yeah, so, no, I get that. I'm just saying.
I know that just kind of dropped
on me. I guess you got a friend who's backed you, who's going to support you in some way, shape, or form. It doesn't always have to be with your dreams, but in life, they're there. But I'm saying overall, there are people who they're only friends with you to see how far you going to get. Or if they're to ride the coattail or ride along with you. And you have to, I don't worry about burning bridges or things like that. You know, at this point, I'm like, if the bridges burn, I'm not the one that set the fire and poured the gasoline. In most cases, the other person, because my personality is I give you 50 million chances. I believe in people, you know, and the only time we have a bigger issue is when you lie on me, when you do something against me and you know you're wrong, when you pride get in your way, that's on you. I can't control your pride. You know, or you're in competition with you, because there's not one person on this planet I'm in competition with. I don't have to be. I'm only working to be Michael Melvin. So the only competition I see is when I wake up, look in the mirror every day. And I've said that since I was a kid. My friends know me because I've said that. I am never in competition with somebody I'm cool with. There's no reason to be.
There's no reason to be.
I want to see everybody rise to the top. It doesn't matter who gets there first. It's just that the problem is, I think what is our personalities, right? The personality thing is you rise not because you're trying to, but because it's just naturally you're a mover. You make things happen. And so if you're an eagle and you are constantly soaring and that person doesn't see themselves as an eagle, but they playing pigeon, they're not going to soar as high as you're going to go. And they can't see it for you because they can't see it for themselves. Where I'm always like, you can do it. You can soar as high as I soar. You're not a pigeon. But if you got a pigeon mindset, that's on you. I've never had that. I've had a mindset that I can go, there's no sky's the limit. Eventually, I'm going to transform from an eagle that's a bird to an eagle that's a plane, that's a jet fighter and be in space, whatever it is. But like I told a kid, you look in the sky, you see stars, right? You say, yeah, everybody's a star. They all shine out there in space. No star saying no one's arguing with the sun saying, you see how bright you are? The sun is just bright because it's closest to us.
You need to dim your light. You need to dim your light.
Right. Nobody saying that, you know, and so I never dim your light for other people. I see other people's light as inspiration. You know, if I see your light, that means my journey, that there's a light, my light can get there. And what's more powerful than one light? Two. You know what's more powerful than two light? Three. You know what's powerful? Three lights? Four. And so if you start thinking of how bright we can shine, we could all outshine whatever the darkness is in our lives and make things better for ourselves.
Come on.
You know, and so I always look at life as collaborative because we're social human beings. God put us here to collaborate, to work together. We just got to learn how to, how to communicate better, how to function better. But it's not, get rid of pride, ego, get rid of jealousy. Don't ever be jealous of somebody else's. Just say to yourself, it's not my time yet. Never said you're never going to have that time. But your time comes because of thought process, how you see the world, how you function. If you always downing yourself and telling yourself you're not going to make it, you're not. Mm-hmm. If you tell yourself you're stupid, you're not going to see yourself as smart. I don't ever say nothing negative to me. And I don't let no one tell me nothing negative. I laugh. I'll be like, okay. I as a young person, I remember this girl said to me one day, she said, I don't like you. And my quickest response was, I like me. And she didn't know how to take that. She thought I was going to say something slick to her. I was like, I like me. Wow. It was like, your life don't even matter, buddy. The first thing I had to learn is my mom always said this. She said, I got handsome sons and a beautiful daughter, but it's your character. Because if you got in a fire, if you got hurt or scratched up or whatever, your looks were gone, who are you as a person? You got to be a person that people like. But most of all, in order for people to like you, you got to like yourself. And that just boom. My parents I love my parents because they will hit you with stuff, and they say stuff that has stuck with me because of their experiences of what they've gone through in their life. Because I got parents that have overcome a lot of stuff. And so I respect that because it helps me overcome stuff. There was nothing that anyone could tell me I couldn't do because I grew up like, whatever you put your mind to, you can do. Don't let people tell you.
Your parents made me think. I'm like, dang. Shoot.
Why are you letting people tell you no? Like, this is your life.
I know, right? That they came with good wisdom, and I'm glad they passed it on to somebody who didn't just stick it with themselves, but you're passing it on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's really really great.
But they
And I
did tell
guess
me about friends too. They did tell me about choosing your circle, because your circle should be about growth. And I've watched people who were close friends of my parents come and fall because they didn't like what my parents were doing. But you got to remember
circles
what
should
my
be
parents.
about growth.
Yeah, right.
Period. That is a good that right there. Your circle should be about growth. That's
Yeah.
really really good. I think one of the things for me, especially being full time in this,
Mm-hmm.
because there are moments, financially, or you may not have work, or just different things that happen on this journey, is the thing that keeps me not from getting stressed out is that I'm at peace knowing
Mm.
this is where God has me.
Right.
This is the space God has me in. This is where I'm supposed to be. And that's what gives me peace and not stresses me out. Like I said, you're gonna have your disappointments because you're human and little frustrations, but for the overall, that peace that this is where I'm supposed to be and I'm doing what I'm called to do.
And
And I'm
TK's
walking in
always at
purpose.
peace.
And I'm
Every time I
walking in
talk to
purpose.
you, at peace, boy. He like, because God got me. Like,
I have my moments. And it's funny because I'll have my moments and like a few hours later, he'll be like, "That am." And I'll be like, "Look at you. Thank you. You're right. Thank you for that little nut." Like, he'll give me like, the little the what do we call it? Like
God winks, God moments.
God winks. Yeah, he'll make sure I have my God winks, or he'll just straight up speak and say what he
Mm.
needs to say. I'll be like, well, say that then. So that helps not being frustrated, knowing that you're doing what you're supposed to do, doing, in the moment you're supposed to do it, and you're walking in purpose. Amen, somebody.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Hallelujah. I know, but like, but stress is, so let me tell y'all this. Stress is also good though. So let me say why stress is good. Stress is fuel to the fire, because stress goes two ways. You either going to stay hard, you're going to work harder, or you're going to quit. And
That's true.
some stresses be like, you know what? When you get the most stress, because usually there's something there. Whenever you're going through the toughest moment, that means you're in the eye of the storm, and that means you're about to get out the storm.
Come on.
And so
Preach.
when you go through something, I think about this all the time. Like when I was having hard moments, something happened and it worked out. It doesn't work in my time as a human being. That's the other thing I got to understand. If I'm really trusting, and this is me, my personal relationship with God, I'm trusting God, it's going to happen. And I can tell you there's a lot of things in my life that has happened, and with my story, I'm here on borrowed time anyway. So I'm cool with that. Like whatever happens, happens. If you know me, you already know why I'm here on borrowed time. So at the end of the day, I don't have a regret. I'm not afraid of anything. And I think that's the thing is sometimes our stresses are out of our own fears. We're afraid to, if somebody calls us, do you think you can shoot this? And you're like, am I good enough? Well, they calling you, they see something in you. You just got to believe that you're good enough. Let me ask you a question to you. Have you ever got a call from somebody to write a script and you're like, I'm not sure. And you had to get rid of that uncertainty?
I had one last week.
Oh, there you go. See? And you did it,
Like,
right?
can you write comedy? I was like, I write
You can write comedy, TK. Don't even say that. You can write.
Well, what I told them is I do write some comedy. I said, but I'm smart enough to know I can get this story done. And if I need the jokes punched up, all I have to do is bring somebody in.
Oh, there you go.
And that's how the conversation went. Like, I know I can get the story done. There's no doubt in my mind I can get the story done. First, and we talked about the projects not accepting, I had to ask them about the project because I wanted to, I like to believe in what I write. So I always ask the person about the project. What's the, not the storyline, but what's the genre and what's the gist of the story, so I can see if it's something I even want to take on. So I'm always, but yes, I did that last week. And immediately I was like, but I can write your story. and I can put comedy in. And then I'm smart enough to bring somebody in if I need to punch it up.
See, there you go. But so you figured it out. You, instead of saying, I don't really do this, but I can't take this job. You should go find somebody else. And then that could have been your moment. That could have been, hey, this is added to your portfolio of writing. Mm-hmm. And now you do write comedy. And it's boom. Absolutely. And we miss out on those opportunities because we get afraid. And sometimes we're afraid to step out our own. And then we stress ourselves out. Some stress is self-inflicted.
Self-inflicted.
Like
you said, if they called you, they seen something in you. And, that's the first thing I say, hey, I can send my samples. Like, because I stand by, people like, oh, have you done anything? Let me Google you. You can Google me. I have a whole bunch of stuff on Google. But let me send you what my original writing looks like. Mm-hmm. You can watch stuff with my name on it, but I got another film coming out with my name on it in a few months. But let me send you my original writing so you can see what I am capable of doing. So like you said, so it won't be like you see something in me. Let me make sure I show you what I can do.
I like this. Thomas said, life is life, so live. Live. There we go, Thomas. It is.
I was trying to think of a song because I'm a music person, so I was really trying to think of a song.
But like, that's the thing. I think, and this is just me, I always say it's me because this is my perspective. Most people don't live the life they want to live because they're afraid to. And because somebody in this world has told you you can't.
And to stay comfortable right there in that corner until you die.
Yeah. And then if you don't even step out to try to live the life you wanted or do the things you inspired to do, because I have to ask, if you know purpose, that's the thing. Even your purpose is going to stress you out, but because it's going to challenge you. Like, you should be challenged a bit. I always take it to a biblical standpoint. Remember, Yahweh had to sacrifice himself for us. Mm-hmm. Yahushua. So, and he went on the mountain and left the disciples, and he prayed where blood came down. Remember, like, that's stress. Ooh. To make the choice to do what he came to do in the first place. Right? And so when I look at us, and I always say the Bible is just, it gives you a good perspective. We going to have to make choices that are going to stress us out. That's going to have us sweating. That's going to have us up at night. And then once we make the choice and we go, okay, and we move in that direction, it pans out.
Surrender.
Yeah. It pans out. But it's not, no one said it wasn't going to be stressful. No one said making a movie isn't going to be stressful. I'm sure every director, every producer is stressed during production. They're like, oh gosh, what's going to happen next?
That's the stress. The production, that's the stress part right there.
Where am I going to get this money?
That's why I don't do it.
But it's stressful. It is stressful. It isn't easy going. It doesn't. But then when you're done, when you've gone through that storm of producing a movie and you're sitting in a movie theater, I'm telling you, there's nothing like sitting in a movie theater watching people watch your film and hearing them laugh when they're supposed to laugh or talk back to the screen.
Our people laugh when they're not supposed to be laughing.
Because it's still funny to them.
I still don't get some stuff. I'm like, that wasn't written to be funny. So, yeah. But
it is, because it taps into something, and we're tapping into people. Darrell said, imposter syndrome is a real thing. I'm going into production of the second episode of my series. I'm terrified and stressed out until I had to encourage myself and just take it one day at a time. Exactly. Because it's like and the thing is, I think it's hard for us because as filmmakers, we're leaders, because if we're doing a production, we got all these people's eyes looking at us. So when we make a mistake, we're thinking, dang. And I'm telling you, the crazy thing is most people don't even see when you make a mistake. They don't see it. I mean, unless they're really close to you or the other people, they don't even know. But it's us because we are perfectionists to an extent, but we have to learn to overcome being perfectionists because I haven't seen a perfect movie yet.
We just want to give our very best. We want to, we want to know that we gave our very, very best.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why, we want it to look good. We want everybody to be proud. And we want the people who do support us and believe in us to be proud of us. So we want to really give our very best and make it look as well as we can.
I have to apologize, TK. I just thought of something while I was talking to you.
What?
I did watch a movie last week.
Told y'all. What you watch?
I forgot about it because I kind of, it's called White People Money.
Oh.
It's by Mark Harris. It was directed and written by Mark Harris. He's out of Chicago. He did another movie that was on Netflix. I forgot what it was called. It's at the back of my head.
It's called Mike Harris.
His name is Mark Harris. His name is Mark Harris. And the movie's called White People Money. It was on Stars. We watched it on Stars. We watched it after we watched Power. That's what it was. And the concept was good. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna say that the concept was good. And again, that's my opinion, my perspective. The idea of the film was good. I just think that it went on the comedy side, and some of the comedy was a little slapstick for me. That wasn't funny slapstick, or not slapstick, goofy comedy stuff. But Mark has done other stuff like his ideas for films. His films concepts are really good. Like to me, I'm like, oh yeah, that'd be. There was something I watched. A couple of his stuff I've watched because actually, when I first started out in filmmaking, when I was young, I actually reached out to Mark through AOL because he had his AOL address up, and I reached out to him and I talked to him a little bit briefly, and we had a couple conversations, and he asked me about my work and everything, and he's actually at one time pointed me towards Maverick.
Okay.
Company. Okay. And so, but I respect it. I respect the work. But we're gonna, everybody's style is different too. Their form of storytelling, their styles. So it's acquired. Certain things are acquired taste. Everything's not gonna say whatever. But I like his topics, right? I like what he talked about, and I think I understand why. Here's the thing to me. I think it's good sometimes to pair up with other people because they can bring your work to life and give it something you won't. Because sometimes we're attached to our own work that I kind of now to see that sometimes you need somebody else to write the story and then you direct it. So that way they write it in such a way that fits you, or you write it and let someone else direct. I mean, you can do both, write and direct, but sometimes you can be too close to it that you like, I don't need that. That's a waste. Let me do something different here. This would be better, stuff like that. So I think there were just little cases, but like I said, the concept overall was good. And he likes to bring points across. If you watch Mark's work, he wants you to have a conversation about his films. So I know that and I recognize that, right? And I think sometimes with that comedy in this one, it overshadowed the real conversations that could have been had. Because there are some conversations that are like, oh yeah, or he's bringing some things to the forefront. And sometimes we put too much into something when it should just focus on that story,
Yes.
So, because it's about a couple. Yeah, it's about a couple who it's supposed to be. I don't know if it's based on a real true story. I gotta look that up. Or I thought the joke was part of it was to say it was based on a true story, but it's about a couple who they're dating. They're not married. They're living together, and they're broke. They're dealing with financial problems, and the boyfriend's like, "I wish we had white people's money, that we could do anything we could make a lot of money, all that." And there's this contest where if you sign up for it, you just text to this texting, you could get $1 billion or something, right? Because it was like Jeff Bezos' ex-wife was giving away this amount of money.
Oh, okay. That's a good concept.
Yeah, it's a good concept.
That's a good concept.
And so they win the money. And he's like, we're not going to tell anybody. She's like, why wouldn't we tell our friends and our family that we won all this money? And because he's like, they'd be at our door, they'd ask for stuff, everything. And that's what happened. So if you watch the trailer, it basically breaks that part of the story down. But there's a little bit more to it in certain conversations and things like that happen within the story. But I think the end result should have been what the story was: taking your money, investing in different things as we are even today to build our community and stuff. And so I just think, I haven't told y'all most of the story or anything like that. I just gave y'all the concept basically. Mm-hmm. So if you're going to watch it, check it out. Like I said, it's a different taste for everybody. So some people may really like a movie. Some people may not really like a movie. Everybody's different. Like some people like Bel Air, some people don't. Some people are still in the middle with Bel Air. Everybody's different. So that's why I don't really like giving opinion about a film, because it doesn't matter. It's my perspective. Mm-hmm. Okay, what you got? Sorry.
No. I was just gonna say. I'm just gonna say. As we get to start wrapping things up, I just want to say, and I'm proud of everybody that's on here. I'm proud of you guys for, not just, thank you for supporting us, but I know you're coming in for knowledge. So you're actually taking the time to try to learn, to try to, get the information you need to do your craft. Crystal, and your publishing, the book publishing, as well as your, getting the books out there. Thomas, researching for your next project, and I know you have another project that you've just you're collaborating with. Darrell, your next series. Darwin is about to shoot his first short. He does photographs and he does a lot of other videography stuff, but he's about to shoot his first short. Who else is on here? That
Jaden
and his auditions. Jaden is transitioning from crew to being an actor, and he's getting auditions and doing stuff. And Jaden, you have to tell me what date that Law and Order was on, because I have to watch it. Who else is on here?
Craig.
Craig, what are you working on right now? Craig, what are you working? Tonay, I know you're working on your productions and different stuff. And I think Tonay is doing some working with CBS and the Oscars and a lot of different things. So we're proud of you for all of that, and moving forward in your gift and using your gift. Brandon, like I said earlier, Brandon's on set. So yes, I'm not jealous or anything. I'm just ready to get back on set, but I got to take some healing time. I would be on set today if I could. Who have JD? We talked about JD and her writing and elevating into a position with Blue Gold Productions and a studio exec. So everyone is on here doing something, and those that have not commented that I can't see in the comments. Yeah, we're definitely proud of all of you guys, because like we've said before, we don't get on here as know-it-all. We get on here as in the trenches with you.
Audrey, I don't know what Audrey's doing, but she's, watching, and or she liked something we posted. So it's like everybody, you're doing your thing, and I love to see us doing our thing, especially this is just me, independent people, because that's hard to be independent on your own, and you don't have that great Hollywood machine to back you, and that's beautiful though, because that's also ownership. You have your intellectual property, and you only give it away if you want to the highest bidder if you choose to, but you don't have to. You know your own worth and your value. So I love that.
Absolutely. And the other thing I want to say is, guys, we mentioned it last week, and we're going to mention it again. Mike, if you could put the link up for the YouTube channel. The YouTube channel has been started, and we do have videos on there. And right now we have 6 subscribers. We do need 50 to start doing YouTube live, as well as what we do. So please share, subscribe, and share. And that way we can start going live on YouTube as well. And just big shout out to Mike, who's always working behind the scenes to do the graphics and do the YouTube channels and
thank you, TK.
page. Because listen, Listen, if it was up to me, y'all would be so disappointed. So
No, you wouldn't. No, thank you, but no, I ain't gonna let you say that. I am not gonna.
I
Listen.
promise I just show up.
Because I'm telling you, TK does her thing, bring the guest on. She sends out letters, reaching out to people. I mean, we come together, do this. And you know what? I'm gonna tell you all this straight up, because we don't get paid for nothing. Like I'll spend the money, but there ain't no money really coming in for this. And we looked at Patreon, we tried it, no one did anything. And all we asking now is just to share it and subscribe and stuff. But not a check. I haven't, except for her work, her writing, her script stuff. But there's no checks coming from this. And TK will be on every Saturday, when she can hop on.
With some makeup on. Look, I got a little bit.
and I'm telling you, it's like we've been doing this for a long time. And the thing is, when we all talked, like when I talked to everybody that was getting involved in the Black Filmmakers Lounge, I said straight up, there's no money right now. But my objective is, one, to be nonprofit and help films. Because if we don't have that help and support, how can we get stuff done? Because I do want to create grants and other ways that will fund people's projects. My dream for this was to also be a show that comes on television or internet thing, and we talk to filmmakers, all of us talking to each other, sharing information and insight, because sometimes you got to hear it 1,000 times to get it, to finally let it sink in. Sometimes the right person needs to say it the right way. And we got it, like, oh, okay. So, and we all like to hear different people. We all like to talk to different people. I recognize that. And just that wealth of knowledge that we all have is valuable, and to boost us as a community, because this industry is growing even without us. It keeps growing, and we should be making it grow with us, I had to say to somebody, and I just want you to think about this for a second. I never hear cops go to Chinatown. I never hear cops go into the Jewish communities and shoot them or have arrests and stuff. I've never seen their communities on Cops, the TV show. I want you to think about that, right? Because they run their community. And it's hard for us to run our community because we're so divided in so many ways, because we're still looking, unfortunately, for acceptance in theirs. Okay. You can still have your own community and still be part of another community. It's just that our dollar, and we've been told this for years, circulates once. Or maybe, what is it, 3 times, I guess, in the Black community before it leaves? I don't think it's 3 times.
Probably didn't much.
But imagine if we were financing each other and we're building our communities, creating jobs for each other. The Jews could talk reparations because they had their own country. And America wasn't the ones who did them wrong. That was Germany. And Germany's been paying that debt still. But America has once not paid its debt to us for reparations in generations in. And we still had civil rights and all the other stuff. But you can't, it's hard to tell somebody no when they're empowered and they control the dollar and they have a voice. It's hard to tell them no. And media, to me, is a great tool and instrument to keep our history, to share information and insight, and to get us to come together and look at some things and how we can work together, because they use it against us all the time. So I am big on this, and to have the crew, the people around me, that circle that we're constantly building and adding to, that's beautiful when you got that circle, and you guys are part of that circle to us.
Absolutely.
We may not be talking to you guys every day on the phone or anything, but to us, you get on every Saturday at 10 o'clock, 10:15, whenever you wake up, whenever you can join. And then we're cool with it. And some of you like, I ain't get to be on there live, but I watched it. So we appreciate it. We are very appreciative, and we're about community. That's number one. We are really about a community because, again, we're being beneficial so that we can also benefit, because we don't just talk it, we do it for a reason.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. And that's going to be my 60-second gem, by the way.
No, listen, I'm biting today. Y'all know how we used to say biting. All of y'all old enough to know what biting is. Derail is my 60-second gem today. I had to learn to give myself some grace to grow. That right there, that's that derail, that's the gem. Giving yourself grace to grow, and that will cut out the stress, that will cut out the frustration, but giving yourself grace to grow. That right there, like you said, on the flip, because like you said, you can use the frustration and the stress to either push or fuel or discourage you. But that right there, giving yourself some grace to grow. I love that. I love that because I do that to myself. And I know I may not be the only one. I do that to myself, and I'm like, and it's like, T, just hold on, you're gonna get it. Just chill out. You got this. You got this. You got it. So yes, I absolutely love that right there. Giving yourself grace to grow.
And by the way, if you guys got some questions, some topics you want us to start diving into, talking about, post them up in the comments, shoot us a message, hit our Instagram page. Listen, y'all should be following us on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. That's where we at right now. I don't do the TikTok thing, so I ain't gonna be sitting there dancing. I do have a dance video out there, but it ain't for that. I was dancing at my wedding.
The rail say, and watch that Michael Melvin dance video. That's what's the funny stuff. The rail is so funny.
So, but y'all need to support that. Because again, we want to know what you guys want to know or feel like you need to know, or say, hey, I don't know this. So who can, because that's also how we look at bringing our guest on to talk about things that you may not fully know that you're interested in, and to help encourage you. Because again, seeing our people do it, that should be inspiration, man. Like when you see our own, we're like, I'd never be jealous of somebody. See them as inspiration. Like, first of all, rule number one, Michael Melvin. If I see a person do it, that means I'm capable.
Come on.
Because there ain't nothing nobody else on this planet can do that another person can't.
Come on.
It's just they choose to do it. It's what they decide to go through, and it's their process. Don't negate the process. The process is the beautiful part about it, because it's that learning experience. And what I do find out, our generation today, not us, but the younger generation and some of us, we try to jump over the process.
Cliff notes and shortcuts for everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
What's up, Jacoby? Jacoby's
here. Oh, hey, Jacoby. So thank you guys for joining us this Saturday morning. We appreciate each and every one of you once again. And yes, definitely let us know. Let us know. So we'll know what to talk about. And I do have a subject that I want you to talk about, Michael. So I have that.
Oh, you write it down. You're writing it down now. Yeah. Write it down. Put it on the thing. See, we need to go ahead and do our brain board online, so we can be like, you logged in, let's do this and start this. Because in there virtual whiteboards we can be doing. So we need to get to doing that. We sit here with y'all. We be planning and stuff. Thank y'all. Yeah, we appreciate y'all. I'm telling you, we love y'all.
Yes, thank you for sacrificing your time. I know Darwin, he has a shoot today, so thank you and he's
awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. So thank you for sacrificing your time. We appreciate you guys so much.
Yeah, I can. It's crazy. I can see the people in the other stuff, because I'm on Facebook at the same time while we're on the thing. So I see them when they're in the other community, when they're in the Black Filmmakers Lounge community group. I can see those. And then I see the Black Actors Lounge. I didn't post to the Black Scriptwriters Lounge. I should have did that. So yeah, we do have that page. We were talking about that earlier because TK's like, I need to go to work on the Black Screenwriters page.
Lord help my brain. And shout out to my mom who's usually listening. Even last week when I thought she wasn't listening because she was actually here, she was in the room listening. So she said, I can hear you, but I can't hear what Michael is saying. So I had to walk on so I can hear what Michael is saying too. I was like, okay, well.
Thank you, Mama. Thank you, Mom.
So yeah, it was kind of funny. I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, so love you guys, and we'll see you next week.
Hey, we'd like to thank you guys for joining us at the Black Filmmakers Lounge. We're your hosts, Michael and TK Henderson. I'm Michael Melvin, and that's Tamara TK Henderson. And we want to let y'all know we appreciate you guys. We love you guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And what the Black Filmmakers Lounge is about giving knowledge and insight to the independent film industry for us as Black in the film industry. And we are about networking and building relationships. So keep that in mind. And when you join the community, remember, be beneficial so that you can benefit. And remember the other thing about us, be strategic, intentional, and authentic. So we appreciate you guys. We love you guys. We'll look for you to see you guys next week. And let's make this happen. All right? Peace. Like, subscribe, share.
Like, subscribe, share. I need to change that up.
Yeah, we miss you guys. We're gonna miss y'all guys, and we hope you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Enjoy your Saturday. It's a sunny Saturday today. Tomorrow's supposed to be cloudy and stuff, so we're gonna enjoy some of that. All right, we love y'all. Peace.